Hey guys, I'm finally back. It's been a long time. Jesus, we're flying. Anyways, we have our next more robots or whatever, and this is Texas Twister. It's got the dual wheels. I figured out how to do them. It's pretty easy. You just get like a 3 long piece and one of the 2 long wheels, where the 2 long of the little poles, so that one end will stick out. You put one end onto the part that moves, and then you put that in, and there you go. Double wheels. And moving on to our next robot, this is Ice Wave. Ice Wave is here. Ice Wave is here. It's actually not very good. The spinner part, comes off quite easily. I need to tape it down, so once I get more tape, that'll be done. And yes. Now, and then we have Intergalactica. Not Intergalactica, hold on. Entity. That's what it was called. I keep messing up the names of my robots. So many of them. Anyways, it's a pretty big reverse flipper, and it flips itself over all the time, which is its main weakness. And it's fast. It's pretty wedgy. So yeah. Next robot up is Spin Cycle 2. I believe I showed you guys the original Spin Cycle. Well, it's back now, and it's deadlier than ever. So I added these teeth on the side, like this. Like this. See that? And then we have these teeth right there, and that's on this side as well. Right there and right there. It's a beast of a spinner. I've tested it against some of my wedges, and it can survive most spinners, and it's destructive. It's really destructive. I don't know if you guys, I showed you guys this, but I have the BattleBots toys, the Blacksmith and Bite Force and Bronco and Witch Doctor. Now, there's been one problem with my Witch Doctor, and that's the spinner came off. So, hold on, let me grab my Witch Doctor. Where is it? Here it is. No, I think I have other robots I want to show from over here. This, and then, where is the other one? Here. Okay. So, anyways, as you can see, my Witch Doctor's lost its spinner, but now it's become a flipper because I don't have enough flipping robots, I guess. It's a flipper with a self-rider. It's like Intergalactic from Bob Builder's Josh Doing Things Lego Robotics. His robot that won, it's like that, but just with the as a flipper and then the self-rider, because the flipper's it's actually quite powerful. If I was to get on, and blacksmith parts. So here we go. And that's pretty good because it's, obviously as one-handed, I would go get both fingers under there and I'd really give it a whack. And obviously back with self-riding. I saw Bronco, and then Bite Force. Bite Force has won my pre-series, Series 2. So it's pretty good. I'm only having battery problems with it right now, so I need to get new ones in there. And yeah, because I have to run the spinner, and then everything else I just hand do. I go like that for Blacksmith X and Blacksmith X. And yeah, so now next robot I'm gonna pick. Here's a I like this flipper a lot. It used to be one of my old Thermidor 2 like really old, before I was on YouTube. I tried to make Thermidor 2 out of this, and it never worked. And now I made this thing, and it has this great rear spinner wedge. It's got a massively powerful flipper. Like if I was to show it flipping up Blacksmith, it's there. And then one more, and now it's out of the arena. And parts come off. Well, this part's really not very important. I can just pop it back on with one hand like that. Pick up Blacksmith parts. Okay, there we go. Remove this, and then here's one of my final robots I'll show you. This is small. It has this giant drum spinner. Or no, this is smallish. Smallish has this giant big drum in the middle. It actually does a lot of damage if you can get in. 2 robots. Then it has obviously the axe, and it also has the little lifting forks right here. Let's just turn it on. See these little lifting forks as well. It's actually a decent robot. It's made Heat Finals, so it's pretty good. Or it's made, not Heat Finals, but it's got like at least 2 fight wins out of 3, and it only lost to a flipper because it's a spinner, and I mean to drum spinner. Jump spinners don't really do very good against them. Who else do I have to show you guys that I haven't showed? More robots over here. I might as well just come back over here this whole time. Aha! Remember Gyrobot, one of my first robots I showed you guys? Well, here's Gyrobot 2, and it's actually a lot more powerful and a lot stronger, and it's a lot easier to drive, and it's very strong. It's just very strong. Here we have one of my robots I think I showed already, but this is Rhino. Rhino has this little lifting / flipping panel, and it's done amazing. I don't know why. I thought this would be like a horrible robot that could just be cannon fodder, but it's got a good wedge. It's really got a good wedge to get under robots, and then it just lifts them out of this short arena wall. This is my arena right here. It's got those big walls on the side. Don't mind that up there. I have to show you one of those robots, so don't look. And then we have this little arena, this wall here. There's Bite Force right there. And, anyways, Bronco is right there. Here's the robot I want to show you. Here's one of my first, like, actual, I have to put this together. This is, Apollo. Or my attempt is Apollo. Because I see it's got this little sloped back where their wheels would be. It's got the slope front, and it's got the flipper, obviously. And it's very strong. And it's got, like, it can flip itself, or it can go like that. It's quite a strong flipper, and you can keep looking at these robots while I grab our next robots. It's way back there, I gotta reach. Actually, next 2 robots. I think these is the last 2 of this episode. I don't know if I have time. Hold on. I got a robot to fix. Probably already seen it. And you probably, this robot's not for someone. This is just my new Sawblaze. If you've seen the old one, it really was old. It started like falling apart. The forks weren't strong. It didn't have the hammer saw, as they would call it, or just a overhead vertical spinner. And now it does, and it's much better. And sadly, it took over my Axbot. So whoever, I think it was Robot Combat Models who asked for the Axbot. If you want this, you can, or I can get you a new robot. I'm working slowly on that. This is just a progress of it. And anyways, speaking of the Account Mayhem, I have a robot built. These robots are tough. I'm sorry, it's hard for me. It's just tough as nails. Tough as nails with the clampy cars. I don't know how to say your last name, just call you Harry. He wanted me to make this tough as nails type robot, and I did. And it's actually pretty decent. I've tested it against some spinners. It's quite strong, and yeah, it's good, pretty good. Anything else I could do? Ooh, here's a cool robot. It's one of my first front hinge flippers here. Let me get the other front hinge flipper as well, because I like both of these robots, and that both came kind of from inspiration. This was from a lot of inspiration from Robot Arena 2 videos, the game where like Orcs Wars and stuff like that. Orcs Wars robots, like the front wedge, it's got good pushing power, and it has the front hinge flipper on the top. That's what inspired me to build this. And it's called Streamlined. As you can see, it's got this great wedge up front. And using a Minecraft chest to flip it. And it's got a good, strong base as well. And now here's a robot from Series 4. It's probably better than that, but it's VMAX. Yes, that is one of my first... I don't know why I decided to build VMAX, but it came up, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to build it, because I felt kind of bad for the team, because they almost could have beat Hypnodisc. And we're right against, let's say here's the arena wall, here's Hypnodisc was right here, and they didn't have any CO2, they just rammed them. If they had CO2, Hypnodisc would have been out of the arena, definitely. So yeah, that kind of really is not very good for them. I felt bad for them. I really wanted to see them actually do something. Who else we got over here? Aha! here's another Robot Wars robot I have built. And I have another one after this to show you. I believe that's it. So, big flipper, big wheels, a lot of cheese. It's really big cheese, but this is really big cheese too. It has these little thwacky bits in the middle that can come down as axes. They can act as when robots go up the wedge, it stops them right here. So it gets the maximum flippage out of a robot. And it's also got this little wire on the back. These also can like do a little bit of lifting almost, lift up robots, or then they can clamp them. It's quite good robot. It's quite a good robot. Why am I speaking British? I feel bad for you guys. And my final Robot Wars. I already seen Chaos 2. Here we get Chaos 2 wherever it is. Here it is. So here we have BattleBots and then different. And then Robot Wars is over here. Tough as Nails, Apollo, VMAX, and Really Big Cheese 2. So here's obviously Chaos 2. And here's Common Gatorix. Honestly, I know people are going to hate me for saying this. One of my favorite robots. It's because they never won, but I always loved the look of it. Like that blue color. Obviously, I didn't get that here. But I love the idea of a flipper and axe. That's why I like Hydra as well. Hydra, any combination robot with the combination of the flipper and the axe. And it's actually pretty good. It's made into the, group of robots that I like, which is up here. These robots, Do I have any other Robot Wars models? I don't think I do. Let me look here. No, I don't believe so. Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry. Aha! Scrap. Or Scrapper. Yeah, I'm calling mine Scrap. So I've ditched those wedgelets. I've added this scoop underneath the vertical spinner to where it can hit. Obviously, you see I have the 2 vertical spinners in there instead of 1. And now, instead of having the self-rider, I have these. If you don't know, if you haven't seen, I think 2 Barbecue has these, Bite Force has these. So, anyways, it's when they're flipped, their vertical spinner can still be used. And they're quite weak. One of them just fell off now. But they're honestly, pretty interesting. And it keeps the spinner from hitting the ground. And Self-Rider was just falling off. So I decided, you know what? Why don't just build this? I really like the idea of it. So why don't I build it and everything will be good. So I believe that's... here's another robot for my account Mayhem. Its name is Chest. My friend's, I don't know if he has a YouTube channel or not. But anyways, he actually gave this to me before quarantine and all that stuff. Because we go to the same school. Anyways, this is his robot. I modified it and I've added more weight to it to make it more competent, more competitive in the arena. And it's quite a powerful full body spinner. It's one of my best. Up there with Brick and stuff like that. And, oh yeah, and I have Corkscrew too. It's not invertible, but it's extremely strong and it's Bite Force. One of my only robots that actually can do that. Because Bite Force is a beast, and even with only 1 wedgelet. So, yeah. And I believe that's all I got time for. Maybe I'll show you one more robot. Here, I'll show you offense or defense. This is also one of my favorite types of robots. These Thwackbots. The not overhead one, but more the sit and spin with one giant thing in the middle and then the ballast in the back. It's actually quite strong and it's quite quick as well when spinning. So I think, honestly, these are some of my favorites I built. Chaos 2 I have upgraded a little bit. I add this top part to help self-ride it. Obviously, here's another update with those on Scrap. And Sawblaze obviously got a huge overhaul. Da-dun. Because they were from the overhaul team in BattleBots. Yeah, don't worry about it. Alright, and that's about all we have time for. So, yeah, goodbye.